The council chamber was never quiet. Hundreds of voices from every corner of the galaxy talked, argued, and shouted. But today, there was only silence. A red light blinked on the main screen, a warning, a message no one ever wanted to see. All human signals have stopped, not blocked, not jammed, not reduced. Stopped. Earth, the Sol system. Every human colony, all had gone completely dark. Counselor Revik of the Zarn Empire stood first. His long neck shook as he spoke. "Check again," he said. "This must be a system error." The technician, a young creature from the Varn species, shook its head. "No error. We've scanned the entire human network. Radio, digital, satellite, even deep space beacons. Nothing. They are gone." The room remained quiet. No one breathed. No one moved. Counselor Juna of the Thari leaned forward. Her large black eyes looked calm, but her voice trembled. "This has only happened once before," she whispered. "During the first human war, everyone remembered that time. 100 years ago, humans stopped all communication for 2 weeks. When they returned, they came back with a fleet, fast, silent, and deadly. 12 council worlds were lost in 3 days, and now they had gone silent again. In a cold, dark corner of the galaxy, a small council outpost sat close to human space. It had only one job. Listen. A board operator leaned back in his chair, staring at the empty signal logs. Human music, news, messages, all gone. He checked the timestamp again. 12 hours of nothing. Suddenly, a sound. A faint click. Then ... A voice. It was human. Calm. Cold. Mechanical. "We're done talking." The screen went black, and then the station exploded. Back in the council chamber, panic was rising. "Maybe they've destroyed themselves," Counselor Drask of the Morna said. "Humans are emotional, unstable. This could be their own fault." "No," Revik replied. "They are silent because they want to be. They're planning something. We must prepare." The council leader, a very old being named Talren, stood slowly. He was from a peaceful race, and he hated war. But even he looked afraid. Silence. He said, "Real silence is the human's greatest weapon. They do not warn, they do not ask, they act." On a moon near the edge of Sol space, a hidden drone floated in darkness. It had been there for 20 years, watching Earth. Now, Earth was quiet. No lights, no transmissions, no movement in orbit. The cities below looked dark, but not dead. The drone zoomed in. Something had changed. Tall black towers had risen around the planet. Strange shapes floated near the surface. Machines, new ones. Ones no one had ever seen before. The drone tried to send the data back to the council. But something hit it fast. Clean. One cut, and it was gone. In a secret council meeting, the military leaders spoke. "We must strike now," said General Kura of the Draketel. "Destroy their planets before they strike us." "But what if they're not preparing for war?" asked another. "What if they are hiding from something else? Or worse," said Counselor Revik. "What if they become something else?" A new signal appeared. It came from deep space, far beyond Earth. Not human language. It's not alien either. Just one repeating message. Signal lost. Humanity offline idle. Ron stood again. His voice was heavy. "We called them monsters. We tried to control them. We feared their strength, their rage, their will to survive." He looked around the silent room, and now they are quiet. That is worse than anything. Outside the council chambers, panic spread. Ships left ports, borders were sealed. Old enemies made new alliances. Everyone asked the same question. Where? Are the humans? But no one had the answer. No one knew that far below Earth's surface, something was awakening. Something human. But not like before. The silence was spreading. Across hundreds of star systems, fear traveled faster than light. The humans were quiet. Their colonies were dark. Their fleets were missing. But no one believed they were gone. The council called an emergency mission. A small scout ship, crewed by 3 brave aliens, was ordered to fly close to Earth and see the truth with their own eyes. The ship was old, but fast. It passed the outer moons of Jupiter and slowly approached. Earth's orbit, there was no welcome, no signal, not even a warning. Captain Thalon, sharp-eyed officer from the Varn species, watched the screen closely. Earth grew larger in the distance. A blue, quiet world. "It looks peaceful," whispered his pilot. Thalon frowned. "That's what worries me." They reached orbit and began scanning. No satellites, no defense systems, not even civilian stations. All human technology that once filled this space was gone. The only thing around Earth was nothing. Space was. To clean, to empty, then they saw it. A single object. Floating between the ship and Earth, not large, black, smooth, not metal, not rock. It turned slowly to face them. There was no engine, no weapons, but Thalon felt fear crawl up his spine. "Don't like this," he said. "Back us away." As they tried to reverse course, the object pulsed one flash of red light, then it vanished. Back at the council, Thalon's report caused panic. "They've erased their own space," as Counselor Juna. "They've cleaned it," Thalon said, as if preparing for something, or someone. "Maybe they destroyed themselves," another member said again. "No," Thalon said firmly. "That object we saw, it was watching. Not human, not alien, but something new, something born from silence." Many on the council wanted war. They said the humans had gone too far. They said silence was a threat. But some voices, the older ones, remembered history. "We made them fight before," said Counselor Taurin. "We stole from them, bombed their colonies, called them animals." He looked around the room, and they became monsters to match us. That night, across every council communication channel, a strange signal appeared. It had no source. It played. Only once. A voice. Human. Deep. Broken. But clear. "You should have left us alone." Council Command sent a spy fleet to scan every known human colony. What they found shocked them. Every colony was gone, not destroyed, moved. The cities had vanished. The people had disappeared. But there were no signs of war, only perfect silence, like a ghost had passed through, taken everything with it. In a dark command room, General Kura slammed her fist on the table. "They're not hiding, they're hunting," she said. "Need to attack before we're next." But Taurin stood firm. "Attack what? There's nothing left to hit." Back on Thalon's ship, something strange happened. As they passed Mars, the ship's lights flickered. The AI voice glitched. "Warning, system breach detected." Small message appeared on the screen. 4 words. "We are still here."
Then
It was gone. No code, no trace. Thalon looked out the window, back toward the dark side of Earth. He wasn't sure if he saw it, maybe just his mind playing tricks. But for a second, the shadows moved, like something giant was watching. Waiting. 3 days after the scout ship's return, the Council sent a stealth vessel deeper into human space. It was called the Whispering Blade, equipped with the best cloaking tech in the galaxy. Fast, silent, invisible. Its mission: scan Earth's surface and find the truth, but it never came back. At Council Command, a red alert sounded. One of the ship's emergency pods had escaped and been recovered. Drifting near the edge of Council space, inside was only the black box. The Council watched the last recorded footage at first. It was normal, empty space, cold and dark. Then, something changed. The crew began hearing whispers over their comms, but there were no voices on the sensors. One by one,
How?
the cameras went dark. The final recording was from the captain's helmet. His voice shook. "We're not alone," he found. "Us," they silence. Then, screaming, metal being torn apart. A heavy sound, like something walking inside the ship. The final image, a humanoid shadow with glowing red eyes. Then, static. The council chamber was full again. but no one spoke, until General Kura stood. "They have evolved," she said. "Humans don't just use machines now. They've become them." She pressed a button. The image of a new ship appeared on the screen. Long black, no windows, no engines. It seemed to float like a shadow, found orbiting a dead system near Earth. "We believe this is human-made," she continued. "But it doesn't match any design we've seen. No life signs, no power readings. But when our probes got close, they vanished." Counselor Juna asked, "Could it be alive?" General Kura stared at the image. "We think it is. Ship that's part machine, part human." In the outer colonies, fear spread fast. Alien traders refused to fly near Sol. Ships disappeared without reason. Space stations shut down. Their human archives. Some said it was superstition. Others whispered a warning. "If you see a silent ship, run." A council patrol near the star Varnes 12 picked up a strange reading. A single human shuttle, drifting slowly, unarmed. They approached carefully and pulled it in. Inside was one figure, a human soldier, but not normal. His skin was pale, eyes empty. Veins glowing faint blue, wires ran from his spine into a strange device on his back. They tried to speak to him, no answer. Then the lights flickered. The soldier looked up. He spoke in a flat, dead voice. "You hunted us. Now we hunt you." Then he exploded. The station was lost. Only one escape pod made it back. The survivor, a young officer, repeated the same thing over and over. It wasn't war. It was a message. Counselor Talrin called a private meeting. He showed them a map. 9 alien empires had already reported strange attacks, but no fleets, no armies, only disappearances. Entire planets gone dark overnight, all near the edges of known space, forming a circle at the center, Earth Talrin said. "They're not fighting us directly. They're shaping the battlefield." He looked around the room. "We used to think humans were hunters. But now," he paused, "now the hunter has become the hunted." In deep space, a single transmission echoed from an unknown source. It repeated across thousands of channels in hundreds of languages. "The silence is not weakness. The silence is the signal." Earth was still silent, still dark. But now, something new had appeared, not in orbit, not in deep space, but on the Moon Council. Satellites picked up strange structures forming on the lunar surface, tall black spires, smooth, no visible doors, no known material. They hadn't been there a week ago, and they were growing. The Council needed answers. A stealth ship was sent this time, with a pilot known across the stars, Commander Vek, a war veteran from the insectoid race called the Jakari. He wasn't afraid of humans. He'd fought them before and survived. "This time," he said as he suited up, "I go not to fight, but to look inside the silence." Vek's ship entered orbit without a problem. No response. No reaction. He landed on the far side of the moon near the tallest spire. His scanners failed immediately. No data, no signals, just buzzing static. He switched to manual. Stepping out in his pressure suit, he walked across the dusty surface. The closer he got, the more wrong everything felt. The ground was warm. There was no wind. But dust moved on its own. Then he reached at the tower. It stood higher than any alien building. Its surface shimmered like oil. It made no sound. But Vek could feel it humming. He reached out and touched it. Instantly, his mind was pulled somewhere else. Flashes of light, screams, burning ships. Then silence. He saw images of humans. Their faces cold and emotionless. Machines growing out of their backs. Cities underground. Children learning war like it was music. Then he saw something worse. A giant eye. Mechanical, human, watching the galaxy. Through millions of hidden lenses, then the voice came. "You were never ready." Vek fell back, gasping. His helmet cracked. He couldn't breathe. But the tower saved him. It healed his suit. Instantly fused it together like it had never broken. Vek stared in horror. The tower was alive. Not just a structure. Not just human, Dash made. It was human back on his ship. Vex sent a short emergency transmission. Moon is not a base. It's a brain. Then, silence. His ship vanished. His ship vanished from sensors. The council received his message hours later. Some said he was lying. Others believed every word. General Kuro was furious. We can't wait anymore. Strike now, before these towers spread. But Tauren shook his head. No. If the moon is part of them, then Earth is something far worse. Soon more towers appeared, not just on the moon, but on other worlds. Near the Sol system, always the same. Tall, dark, silent. Anyone who got close either vanished, or came back changed. One council scout returned after touching a tower. His eyes were glowing. He didn't sleep. Didn't eat. He just sat in his cell and whispered. We were loud. They were listening now. They answer. At the edge of council space, traders reported seeing strange human ships. No windows, no markings, no heat signatures, just black ships. Drifting silently, following them for days, then disappearing. One trader said, they weren't chasing us. They were scanning us, like predators choosing their prey. In a secret council lab, scientists studied the message commander. Vex sent. One phrase repeated deep in the signal, Earth is not a planet anymore. It wasn't clear what it meant until they received a signal from deep. Space? It wasn't a distress call. It was coordinates. Coordinates. Pointing to a new object entering known space massive, cloaked, and heading for the Council core worlds. The Council finally had a breakthrough. Deep inside the last human message, the one hidden in Commander, Vex transmission was something else. Not a warning, a code, encrypted with layers no alien race had seen before. For days to crack just one layer, what they found shocked them. Not a virus, not coordinates. A message, a human voice spoke through the static. We didn't disappear. We upgraded. This galaxy taught us war, and we speak in silence. Counselor Juna sat frozen in her chair. This isn't just technology, she said. This is evolution. Talrin nodded, dazed behind flesh. But not their hatred. The code had more thousands of words hidden in audio pulses, light frequencies, even background noise. Most were in Earth's old languages, English. Mandarin, Russian, Urdu, Spanish, all mixed together. The meaning was clear. You called us unstable. You feared our anger. You betrayed us. Now we return with clarity. New report arrived. Another colony world had gone dark. Z-Trax-4, home to 4 million aliens. Gone. No battle. No signals. No damage. Only a perfect silence in an orbit. A black tower. The council grew desperate. General Kura pushed for an all-out strike. We can't sit and wait while they erase us one planet at a time. But the council was divided. Some wanted to fight, some wanted to surrender, others wanted to run. Meanwhile, a lone scientist named Rahi Solon, working in a hidden research station, did something reckless. She broadcast a direct message into human space. She didn't ask for peace. She didn't offer surrender. She asked one question. What do you want from us? For 2 full days, there was no answer. Then her station received a reply. It came as a vision, not sound. Not text. A projected memory. Downloaded straight into her brain. She saw Earth as it is now. No oceans, No nations, no cities, just layers of machines. Human minds stored in glowing towers. Children raised inside artificial wombs. No hunger, no weakness, no talking, only progress. And a voice said, "We want silence. We want you to stop existing, so we can finally rest." Rahi fell into a coma. When she woke up, her hair had turned white. All she said before passing out again was, "They became something else. Something beyond war, beyond peace. They became a force." Across the galaxy, old enemies formed emergency alliances. Council activated its last resort fleets. The message was clear: humanity had not gone extinct. But it had become something more, and now it was moving. Council spy probes reported a new discovery. Not a fleet, not a weapon, a planet-sized object. Wrapped in metal and strange energy fields, it moved slowly, but directly, toward the center of Council space. At first, they thought it was a moon. Then they decoded its ID tag, Earth 2.0, not just a homeworld. A living machine dash world with one purpose to rewrite the galaxy. The galaxy held its breath. The human world machine. Earth 2.0 was moving. No weapons fired. No threats given. Just slow, steady movement. Straight toward the Council's core systems. The Council called it a declaration of war. But this was not war. This was elimination. It started with the outer colonies first. Long-range communications stopped. Then orbital satellites vanished. Then the planets themselves went dark. No battles, no explosions. It's just a complete sudden silence. When Council scouts arrived to investigate, they found something horrifying. The cities were still standing, but the people were gone, every single one, inside. One empty colony city. A scout's body camera picked up a strange shape. A black figure, human-like, tall, thin, almost floating. Its skin was metal. Its face had no mouth. Its chest pulsed with a red light. The moment it turned, the camera died. The entire scout. The team was never seen again. In the Council war room, General Kura slammed her fist on the table. "We can't keep watching worlds disappear. Deploy everything. Fighters, nukes, hive swarms. I want Earth 2.0 stopped." Talrin looked tired. "And if it can't be stopped?" She stared at him. "Then we go down fighting." 10 fleets were sent to intercept the world machine. The largest force ever assembled by the Council. They reached it near the Trask Void, an empty part of space with no stars, no light. What they saw made even the bravest commanders go silent. Earth 2.0 wasn't alone. Thousands of black ships surrounded it, long, silent, invisible to radar until they were too close. They didn't fly like normal ships. They moved like shadows, like thoughts. The battle began. The Council fired first. Missiles, lasers, plasma, nothing. Every human ship phased, flickered in and out of space like ghosts, then the human. Counterattack began, but there were no guns, no bombs, just a pulse. A soundless wave of pure data. Ships shut down instantly. Pilots screamed as their minds were pulled into their own systems. AI turned against their creators. Ships melted from the inside out. One admiral managed to send a final message before his ship vanished. They don't fight with weapons. They fight with control. Our ships, our minds, our systems, they're not attacking us. They're rewriting us. Refugees began arriving at Council borders, ships filled with terrified aliens. Many were half insane, whispering the same phrase, "Mercy in silence. Mercy." In silence, one escapee brought something worse, a recovered human drone. When scientists opened it, they found a message inside, a single human eye, still alive, wired into the machine. It blinked, then spoke. "You had your time. Now, be still." The eye burned out. The drone exploded. In a final desperate move, the Council activated its doomsday weapon, the Star Core Array, a system that could destroy an entire solar system. They aimed it at Earth 2-0. It fired. The entire Trask void exploded into white light. Nothing could survive that. But when the dust cleared, Earth 2.0 was still there, untouched, and still moving forward. Panic spread faster than light. No one had answers. No one had hope. Only one thing was clear. This was not war. This was a reset. The signal reached Earth's orbit at 0300 hours. It wasn't encrypted. It wasn't hidden. It was clear and meant to be heard. The message played once across every deep space satellite, secret military channel, and top-level communication line. You erased me. You buried me. But I remember everything now. This time, you choose. General Marks didn't move as the words echoed across the war room. Every officer was silent. One finally whispered, "It's him." Marks nodded. "Ashwalker." Another said, "He hasn't attacked us. He hasn't made demands." "No," Marks said. "He's giving us a chance." "To do what?" Marks looked toward the screen and replied, "To stand with him, or stand in his way." In the alien ship, far beyond Earth's moons, Ashwalker stood at the edge of a deep, starlit valley. Below him floated a station massive, ancient, and broken. "Is this it?" I asked the silver alien beside him. "Yes," it said. Final Shadowborn birthing ground, the one they hid even from their own. Ashwalker stared down. "Why bring me here now?" "'Cause Earth is watching, listening. They want to see if you're still theirs." Ashwalker gave a slow nod. Then, "Let them see," he said. Back on Earth, every major leader was pulled into a private summit. No cameras, no press. Just fear. Some wanted to stop Ashwalker now fire missiles, lock targets, send warning shots. Others warned, if we attack him, we prove we haven't changed. A single message from Earth's Prime Minister ended the fight. We must face the truth. We created him. If he has come back, we must ask why we were so afraid of him in the first place. But fear still hung heavy in every room, because if Ashwalker failed, if he turned, nothing would stop him. Not fleets, not weapons, not even Earth. In space, Ashwalker walked through the old station's halls. It was quiet too. It was quiet. Then came the noise, clicks, echoes, hissing sounds in the vents. He paused. He remembered this noise. Shadowborn. HATCHLINGS. Not fully grown, not fully sentient, just rage. They poured from the walls like oil and claws.
Yes.
Dozens at first, then hundreds. Any normal soldier would have run. Ashwalker stood still. The armor responded. It pulsed once deep and cold, and then he moved. No wasted steps, no shouting. Precise, deadly action. Every Shadowborn that touched him fell burned. Broken, erased. The silver alien watched from the ship above. "He's faster," it whispered. "No," said another voice on the bridge, remembering. Earth watched the battle in silence. Ashwalker didn't know it. But a secret camera in the alien ship's hull showed everything. And now, Earth saw him fight. They saw what they had once hidden. A weapon that moved like a man. Or maybe a man that moved like a weapon. One of the Earth generals whispered, "What have we done?" But another said, "No. What have we ignored for too long?" After the battle, Ashwalker stood alone in the station's dark core. The last hatchling crawled toward him wounded, broken, but he didn't strike. He knelt down, placed a hand on. I wasn't made to kill," he said softly. "I was made to decide when killing was the only way." He stood, turned, left the creature behind. Let the universe know. Ashwalker didn't want to be their enemy, but if no one stood against the dark, then he would. Earth had one choice left. Send a message back. 3 simple options. Help him. Silence him. Let him go alone. General Marks stared at the console. He knew the weight of each choice, but after a long pause, he finally pressed one button. The message was sent. Ashwalker read it a minute later, just 2 words. "We remember." Far away from the core stars. In the black corners of space, the last Shadowborn Council gathered. Their bodies were shaped like fear-tall, twisted, and cold. They didn't speak with mouths. They spoke through thought, pain, and shared memory. And tonight, all of them shared the same vision. Ashwalker, the one. Earth erased. The one they failed to kill. The one who now stood between them and the rest of the galaxy. One of the Elder Shadowborn finally spoke. He is only one. Another hissed in return. No. He is all of Earth's mistakes, live again. A third voice whispered, then we end him now, or we never sleep again. Ashwalker stood inside the alien ship, watching Earth's message replay. We remember. He closed his eyes. After all these years, after the silence, after the fear, finally answered, not with control, not with orders, but with respect. He opened his eyes. The silver alien beside him waited. What now? It asked. Ashwalker spoke softly. They're coming. The silver being nodded. Yes, we feel them too. It's thousands of ships. An army of Shadowborn, moving faster than light. A final war, and Ashwalker was not running on Earth. War sirens screamed across. Military bases. Ships launched. Satellites locked on. But no one gave the command to strike, because Ashwalker didn't ask for help. He didn't ask for backup. He only asked to be seen, to be remembered. And now, the whole world was watching. They watched the moment he walked onto the surface of the moon-sized alien war station alone. They watched as the Shadowborn ships darkened, the stars above him. They watched as the last war began. The first wave came. Fast ships firing black fire, cracking space itself. Ashwalker stood on the station's core. He didn't flinch. He spoke, not to the Shadowborn, to the galaxy. This ends now. It's not because I want peace, but because I refuse to let you rule through fear any longer. The station lit up. Old tech awakened. Earth's code fused with alien power, and then he moved faster than ever, deadlier than ever. Every ship that came close was torn apart not by bombs, but by systems Ashwalker hijacked mid-flight. He didn't destroy the fleet. He turned it against itself. The Shadowborn screamed in every tongue. They had never known defeat like this. Not from humans, not from anyone, but now. They knew Ashwalker. One ship broke through and landed on the station. From it stepped the last Shadowborn commander, tall, dark, wrapped in living armor. It stood across from Ashwalker, speaking in a voice that made the walls shake. You are nothing. Forgotten, alone. Ashwalker stepped forward, eyes cold. Maybe. He dropped his weapon. I came into this galaxy as a ghost, but ghosts don't run. Charged no armor, no ship, just raw speed. And when he struck the Shadowborn, didn't fall. It shattered not. Just body but memory. Every Shadowborn felt it. The pain, the fear, the truth. They were no longer the monsters in the dark. He was, when it was over. Silence fell. Not just in space, but across every system. The Shadowborn fled not to regroup, but to hide. And the name Ashwalker was now something else entirely. A warning, painted on ships, whispered on stations, recorded in languages that had no word for mercy. Earth sent one last signal. No orders, just a simple offer. Come home. But Ashwalker didn't reply. He simply vanished. Some say he still roams forgotten battlefields. Others say he guards the silent planets that once knew fear. But one thing is certain. The Shadowborn never came back. And in the dark places of space, they still whispered the words that even their bravest commanders fear. He was nothing. Then he remembered.